All right, the gang's all here. And as they say, you are only late if you show up. Apologies. But here's looking at you, kid. And in fact, today we're going to make a cocktail that is not just a champagne cocktail, it is the champagne cocktail because it was originated, its origination story goes back to at least the 1850s. The first time we see it in publication was in the 1860s, about 1862, in a book called The Bartender's Guide. And it is a great book for amateurs like myself or professionals like you might be alike. And this cocktail was featured in many, many, many things, books, movies. But how about Casablanca? Casablanca. We are going to feature not only really how it's made in the original form, but in the way it was made in the movie Casablanca. Of course, Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman, star-crossed lovers, and she walks into Rick's Cafe Americain, his gin joint, and his bartender, Sasha, who was actually Leo Kinsey, which was Bogart's real drinking buddy, who played a Russian bartender in the movie. And he made them Victor Laszlo, and on his arm, Ingrid Bergman, who was, Humphrey Bogart, Rick, his lady love from days gone by, and made them a couple of champagne cocktails. It's really easy, it's elegant, it's beautiful. And I thought about maybe not even using real champagne because I do love the Cremant from Trader Joe's. It's made in the champagne style. It's 13 bucks. And if it's a really, really good champagne, the last thing I ever want to do is, you know, do something bad to it. I don't want to change its complex profile or anything like that. So we're going to use the next best thing to my favorite champagne, which is Paul Roger. That was a Winston Churchill's favorite champagne. He's even got his own varietal, and the Queen's stamp is still on it for now, as the Queen's stamp is on many, many things, like 700 things for now. But now that she is gone, it will no longer be. But Paul Roger, I'm telling you, for a special occasion, chef's kiss. That's my favorite, hands down. And it was really hard to find for about a year. In fact, I couldn't find it. So we're going with Le Costco Le Kirkland brand champagne. This is such an easy drink to make. And really, what it requires is a lemon twist, uh, a sugar cube. So if you're, it's been a while since you've been to your granny's house, and you don't have any sugar cubes, you can use a teaspoon of regular sugar or even simple syrup, but you're not going to get the bubbles, all the bubbles that exist in this cocktail. But you do you. So we went out and got some C&H pure sugar cubes. Any guesses on how much this 2-pound box of sugar cubes cost? I may have some in the house, but gosh darn it, if it didn't cost me like $6.50, the price of inflation. I'm telling you what, it's getting you everywhere. So I'll have these sugar cubes for the rest of my life. If you would like to be in my will, perhaps I will leave the sugar cubes to you and yours. But the cocktail that they made, the champagne cocktail that they made, and of course, there are many different kinds of champagne cocktails. You could put Guinness in it, and that makes you a black velvet. There are just so many. Hemingway used to drink something called Death Before Midnight, I think it was called, and it was absinthe and champagne. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. I like a little absinthe, but the beauty of this cocktail, and as you might be able to see here, let me tilt the camera a wee bit. Uh, I have been collecting champagne glasses for a few years, dating back to maybe my 30th birthday. I saw it on a TV show and I thought, well, that's a cool collection to have. So I collect pairs of champagne glasses. I've only broken a handful. So every birthday, I buy myself or somebody else buys me a pair of champagne glasses. Pretty awesome. And they are from the Uber sort of pricey. This was probably a little over $60 for a 2-pack. And if I could read this, I would tell you. I think these are Lennox. They are Lennox. And I think like the Kate Spade, they have little 4-leaf clovers on them. So that was for a big birthday that I bought myself. I always get things on sale. It's just my nature. Down to the very inexpensive, but nonetheless pretty special. These are um, depression glass. And so it's literally just glass. It's not crystal. Some of these are lead crystal. So they're heavy, a little easier um, or less easy for me to break, I suppose. This is also crystal, but not lead crystal. Those are heavy. This is just depression glass. And during the depression, it's exactly what you would think. They literally pressed glass together. You can see the seam in this depression glass. And they had different colors like pink and blue and clear. And I mean, it was cheaply made, but it's an antique. And I love my little depression glass. So the beauty of this drink, and maybe I'll make this in my most special cocktail glass because it's also the biggest, um, is you build it in the champagne flute or whatever you're going to drink it out of. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to soak 1 teaspoon, 1 sugar cube with your Angostura bitters. Okay. Some people say 3 or 4 dashes of bitters, but in the movie Casablanca, this is the way they do it. Apparently, he expertly makes this. You're going to soak it. You're going to see that. Let's see. Can you see that? Starting to soak. Let's see. There we go. We're going to totally soak it. And this adds, obviously, as the name denotes, a little bitter. Or you can smell that too. Herbal and bitter. And there is a little alcohol in that. Although I've seen some non-alcoholic beverages made with that. And we're also going to add a splash of brandy, 1 ounce of brandy, because that's what they did in Casablanca. But a true champagne cocktail is just the soaked Angostura bitters, sugar cube, champagne, and a lemon twist. And before we get this party really started, because guess what? Everybody canceled on me tonight, so it's just me and a bottle of bubbly, and then I'm trying to get out of town tomorrow. And so I have this special little thing that will help me make a lemon twist. And again, it's best to do this with a room temp citrus, which of course I didn't get around to making, but nonetheless, nevertheless, here we are. Okay. Ooh, ooh. Because when it's room temperature, like if you wrap it around your finger or whatever you're wrapping it around to, it's the body heat, the warmth, if you will, that will get it to hold its shape. Okay. So we're going to put 1 ounce of the brandy in there. Cognac, which is French, of course, or brandy. This is Paul Masson Grande Amber Brandy, VSOP. Don't know what it stands for. Very special oppressed peach. I don't know. We'll see. And we're just going to put 1 ounce of said brandy. We're just going to make it just like Casablanca. I may even look for Casablanca on the TV tonight. And then, because this is a real bottle of champagne, maybe for a New Year's show, I will sabrage a bottle of champagne again. It's kind of a thing I do. Still have all my fingers. It's kind of a miracle. I shouldn't brag about that because one day it might go all wrong. But I think it would be kind of fun actually to go over the proper way to do that. And you always want to keep your hand on the cage because this is like a bomb ready to go off, a bottle of champagne, which is why sabrage works so well because you put the pressure of the bottle, the pressure that the champagne is under duress. And you, oh, wait, here we go. This is the way you do it. That is the way you pop a bottle, friends. Okay. And so here we go. We're going to pour this in and we're going to watch that sugar cube create all the bubbles. Okay. Look at that. That's pretty. That's pretty. It's a nice, pretty amber color. There we go. We have our orange or a little lemon twist. I'm going to hang that on the edge there and take a sip because I know we're going to be drinking a lot of champagne lately, soon, before dry January sets in. Lord help us. And you want like definitely a brut dry champagne because obviously you're putting a teaspoon of sugar in there. That's lovely. I don't think I've ever had it with the brandy in there. I wish I had cognac, but your girl's out. Let's see. Mm. That's great. That is good. You wanna class the joint up again or again, well, do you wanna class the joint up? Go to your local gin joint and order a true, champagne cocktail, and they better make it with champagne, and they better use a sugar cube, and they better use Angostura bitters, otherwise you're not getting what you're paying for. So, cheers to you and yours, and all you have to do, like I said, is soak a sugar cube with your Angostura bitters. You can buy the bitters at the grocery store, you can buy the, sugar cubes at the grocery store, you might even be able to buy the champagne at your local grocery store. Just get something that is great to drink because the champagne is really front and center. I mean, it is a champagne cocktail, the champagne cocktail. Here's looking at you, kid, and thank you guys for watching. Cheers.